All right, what is up, guys? Just here to recap Whittaker versus Till. I actually don't know which UFC event this was. I know it wasn't a pay-per-view, obviously. UFC Fight Night 174. It was actually a pretty decent card. Not as good as last week's card. Last week's card was nuts. I mean, to me, last week's card was like the best Fight Night card I've ever seen. Anyways, there weren't any really memorable things. Fabricio Verdum got a beautiful armbar submission, transition from the back to it on Alexander Gustafsson. What surprises me, because Alexander Gustafsson has really good hips, and I know that it wasn't a traditional double leg or single leg, kind of chase him around the octagon for the takedown. But even against guys like John Jones and DC, even though DC slammed him a bunch, John had a difficult time taking him down. He was talking about how good his hips were rather. So that surprised me. I knew if we got it to the ground that Fabricio was going to submit it. I have no fucking doubt about that. So I knew that was the deal. But I thought Alexander would keep his distance because I'm pretty sure technically he's the bigger guy. 99% sure. So I thought he was just going to use his slick boxing and just stay at range and say, fuck defending the takedown, which I thought he could do because his hip's really good as well. Now I understand that his offensive wrestling is really good as well. It's surprising to some people. I don't know how technically good it is. I think that it works so well because people don't expect it from him. It worked good against DC and John Jones. But yeah, that surprised me how this fight went. Not the result necessarily, just the events that led up to it. Because he just got submitted by Anthony Smith in his previous fight. So I don't know what he's going to do. Is he going to stay at heavyweight? Is he going to retire a second time? And Fabricio, I don't know. Maybe they could do him versus Greg Hardy or some shit. I don't know. Paul Craig pulled out a beautiful triangle submission, triangle choke, which is actually fairly rare for someone for his size. But he has 3 or 4 of them. And it was just fitting that, of course, he won from this. And it took him a while to set this up, actually. I'm surprised he didn't just block his leg with his elbow and try to just power out through it. Because he wasn't hooking the legs or anything. So that surprised me. I can't say the other guy's name. It's Godzi Hirmirad Antigulov or some shit. I'm looking at it and I can't say that. Those are really the only notable things. Mauricio Shogun beat Antonio Nogueira, of course. And then the main event, Robert Whittaker versus Darren Till. I thought that it went the right way. I thought it could even be 4-1. I personally had it 2-2, and then I gave Robert Whittaker the 5th round, even though he was split open. I think it was his ear. It looked like it was right above his ear. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but yeah, it kind of worked how I thought it did. The only thing, I thought the blitzing of Robert Whittaker would be a bigger issue for Darren Till, but he blitzed in the first round like he normally does, kind of like how Jorge Masvidal switch stepped and he got hit with that elbow drop. So that was a nice defense mechanism. So, but he was winging an overhand right that was telegraphed like a motherfucker. But I don't think that Darren Till's stock necessarily goes down. It was a decent fight. It had 2 knockdowns early in the fight. So I would say his stock goes down. But honestly, not the best thing for his career. He showed some great defensive work as well, even in the wrestling department. The way he was dodging head kicks and stuff. He just has a difficulty whenever Robert was thrown more straight and less loopy. He had a difficulty getting his head off that center line. But Robert Whittaker is vicious, man. A lot of people was kind of riffing the way he fought against Izzy. I thought he looked amazing against Izzy. I thought he was running the majority of the fight. But he just lost where it counted. Now, I think Izzy beats him. I do think Izzy's the best fighter in the division at the moment. But I thought he looked absolutely amazing. Watching him, yeah, this is definitely 1 and 2. There's no doubt about that. But we'll see how he does against Paulo Acosta. But I don't know. I was really interested in tonight's main event. I love both these guys. They're both great personalities. I was low-key rooting for Till, but it's kind of one of those things where you like both of them. You don't really care who wins, even if you do have some biases. So, I don't know. It went how I thought it would. It was just, I don't know. I knew Robert was better, for sure. I knew that. But Darren's on the coming up and whatnot, and Robert Whittaker is still young as well. But it's Robert Whittaker was talking about how he didn't want to fight. He pulled out of a fight with somebody recently. Maybe it was even Darren he pulled out of a fight with previously. But he was talking about how he wasn't feeling it and he needed time away. And it's that's not a good sign. I just saw you fight Izzy. You did really well. But when you got hit, man, he just looked like as soon as he got hit, like his eyes just rolled in the back of his head both times. Like 5 seconds left in the first round, he was not getting up from that. He was essentially knocked out. He was not defending any secondary shots that came down for ground and pound after he got hit. That just was not going to happen. But the round ended, so he had a chance to get back up, and then he got finished in the second round. That surprised me as well. Yeah, but we'll see where it goes after this. I don't think Robert Whittaker will get a title shot. I don't think he will. I truly don't think he will. I think they're gonna make him fight Cannonier, and I'm pretty sure that's the fight he pulled out of. That people were saying like his daughter had like coronavirus or some shit. But I'm pretty sure they're gonna make him fight Cannonier because Cannonier beat Hermanson. I think they're gonna fight, and then the winner of that will get Izzy and whatnot. And it's probably Jack Hermanson and Darren Till right now. Probably the next fight for both of them. So yeah, it was an interesting card. It was decent. I enjoyed it. Very long card, 15, 16 fights, the longest or tied for the longest in UFC history, at least modern UFC history. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my analysis, and I'll see you all later.